Good evening and welcome to Dormont Memorial Stadium here in Dormont, Pennsylvania. South Hills of Pittsburgh is the site for a little Monday night football here on Pittsburgh Soccer Now's YouTube channel. I'm Matt Gajtka, calling the action for the evening as we have WPIAL Class AA Section 1 rivalry matchup tonight from Dormont. Like I said, the hometown Keystone Oaks Golden Eagles are hosting the South Park Eagles. South Park coming in tops in the section, 10-0 overall, 9-0 in the section, and ranked number 1 by both the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette and the Tribune Review. The Eagles are soaring high once again under 19th-year head coach John Cantwell. But Keystone Oaks putting together another solid season at 7-3 overall and 7-3 in Class AA Section 1. And the Golden Eagles here at home are 4-1 on the year. Just the one loss, and they're going to try to avenge their defeat at South Park 2-0 just last month. In fact, Keystone Oaks, even though South Park has been excellent over the past several seasons, in particular, including a couple of unbeaten marks in section, Keystone Oaks has actually dealt South Park its last 3 section losses. Now, those are spread out over a couple of years, but still, the Golden Eagles have a way of getting under South Park's skin and delivering crucial defeats. Here on this October the 12th, we're about ready to kick it off at 7:30 p.m. We just saw the JV game, which featured Keystone Oaks defeating South Park 1-0. Quite an exciting matchup to start the evening's worth of soccer. The sun has just dipped below the western Pennsylvania hills. I don't even call it crisp. It's a warm night, warm for this time of year, especially a little breezy, but we're not looking at any rain until later tonight. So it should be perfect weather is what I'm getting at here for our featured game of the week broadcast. Actually, one of 2 featured games of the week. My colleague Matt Popchak and John Krasinski will have the coverage up at Deer Lakes on Wednesday. But here tonight, like I mentioned, we're in the South Hills, and it's Keystone Oaks and it's South Park, and this matchup is usually very, very competitive no matter where the teams are in the standings, but it helps that they're usually both right near the top. Let's get to the starting lineups, as right now South Park's starting 11 is being announced, so I'll start with the visitors. Number 3, John Remark, a junior. Number 23, Joe Irwin, a senior. Number 24, Jason Luffy, a senior. Number 25, Andrew Spowart, a junior. Number 27, Cameron Loveland, a freshman, had to go to the second page of the roster for that one, as John Cantwell goes to the first-year player there. Number 29, Peyton Pauline. He is not a first-year player. He's a senior stalwart defender. Also starting for the Eagles of South Park, number 32, Dylan Weiss, a senior. Number 36, Caden Fisher, a freshman. Number 38, Cole Berger, a junior. Number 39, Aiden Giles, a senior. He of the team leading 5 goals. And starting between the sticks for South Park is the senior, number 43, Logan Thomas. Although look for the junior, Preston Sicati, to come on in the second half. That's how Coach Cantwell has done it this year. He has split time almost evenly between his 2 keepers. So as I mentioned, Thomas will start, and we'll see if Sicati comes in, as has been the pattern this year. As for the Keystone Oaks Golden Eagles, coached by Tyler Schultz in his first year in charge, coming over from Carleton and Baldwin, where he was an assistant at both schools. We'll start in goal. The junior, Jake Workmaster, has taken over the starting role in recent games. Workmaster, the junior. Number 2, Kushal Karki, the senior. Number 7, Rohan Shrestha, co-captain, also a senior. Number 9, Cy Garcia, a freshman. Number 10, a senior defender and co-captain, Pat Simmons. Number 14, a junior defender, Sam Music. Number 15, a senior midfielder, Alex Alexak. Number 18, a junior winger/midfielder, Cullen Lyons. Number 22, a junior, a midfielder, Maddox Fingers. And we have a couple more players left that's actually in suspense right now. Number 16, the freshman forward, Justin Lai, will start in the spot of 13-goal man Rutger Randall, who is out due to injury, unfortunately for Keystone Oaks. So we'll see Lai in the lineup. And it looks like we'll see Philip Boland, the sophomore, as we pause for the national anthem here at Dormont Memorial Stadium. Teams are on the field. The starting 11s are lined up. We're moments away from kickoff on Pittsburgh Soccer Now. So for your starting 11 for Keystone Oaks, I got it backwards. Looks like Rutger Randall is in, or at least to start. 13 goals on the year for the co-captain for the Golden Eagles, and it is Trevor Schutz, the junior forward, who is out at the beginning of this one. Or at least we'll see how that goes, as we have, there were some injury-related uncertainties, we'll put it that way, in the warm-ups, as Coach Tyler Schultz was waiting to see how a couple of his big guns felt out there. Ready to kick it off, or just about, as the two teams are huddling at their respective benches, both on the far side of the pitch. And the soccer ball has been placed right at the 50-yard line. We have the gridiron football lines here, so I'll use those when I can to give you a better idea of where the ball might be. Radio-only call, but we'll endeavor to have video highlights for you on Pittsburgh Soccer Now's YouTube page later in the week, hopefully by tomorrow. We'll see how that goes. The big KO in Vegas gold, black and white, is painted at the center stripe. 40 minutes are loaded on the clock on the big scoreboard down to my left. Keystone Oaks is going to be dressed in its predominantly black uniforms with the gold and the white trim, gold numerals on the back. And South Park, unbeaten at 10-0 and number 1 by both local newspapers, is in white with the blue numerals. Classic look for both sides, really. Easy to tell the two sides apart, as you might hope in a rivalry matchup like this one. Keystone Oaks was hoping to have a chance to at least climb into second place in the section, but after a loss to Elizabeth Forward on Saturday, doesn't look like that's going to be the case. So Keystone Oaks now playing for seeding and just trying to stay in that third place spot and build some momentum going into the final couple of weeks of the WPIAL regular season. We're underway. Play has begun with Keystone Oaks in possession on its own side of the midfield stripe. They work it around from right to left. Maddox Fingers over to the far wing side. That's dished up toward the touchline and blasted right toward the Keystone Oaks goal, where it's going to be scooped up by Jake Workmaster, and he has easy work with this one. Musich, Fingers, and Simmons across the back for Keystone Oaks. Lyons, Alexak, Garcia, Karki, and Shrestha in the midfield. And then we have Rutger Randall up front alongside Justin Lai. Lai, the freshman, getting the start in the place of Trevor Schutz. Free kick, restart just over the midfield line. It'll be driven in by Simmons, and it's headed clear by South Park. Back to retrieve here is Alexak. He'll dish it back to that three-man back line. And here is Pat Simmons again handling with some pressure coming from South Park. He mishandled it. It rolls out into touch. Good pressure there from the freshman Caden Fisher. A couple of freshmen in the starting lineup for John Cantwell's South Park Eagles, Loveland and Fisher. But mostly it's a upperclassman-laden group for South Park, including 12 seniors and 7 juniors on this roster. Trying to thread that one through was John Remark, but he couldn't get it there. And here come the Golden Eagles. I'll try to stick to the school names because obviously both are nicknames of the avian variety. Rutger Randall, the tall forward, rushing after this one. Can't get there in time. That'll be a throw-in, though, for Keystone Oaks as it was just dumped out of play by Jason Luffy, the senior defender for South Park. Randall to throw in. He'll go backward with this one. On to Simmons on the right flank, about 40 yards from goal. He'll give it a go. A long shot here, maybe a cross, and it's snatched up regardless by Logan Thomas at the last possible second. Both teams have played a couple of goaltenders or goalkeepers this season, pardon me. I mentioned the split situation with South Park, Thomas and Sakati, but Keystone Oaks started the season with Caleb Wolf, the freshman, getting a few starts before the junior Jake Workmaster took over, and I just watched Caleb Wolf made a couple of dazzling saves in the JV game, so you can see why he got the opportunity right away. His first go-around as a varsity player. Here's Workmaster booting one away from the front of his goal and held in beautifully on the far touchline. And here's Shrestha with some room. Shrestha into the attacking third. He's down the left channel. He pulls up, feeds over to the far corner. An attempted cross by Justin Leib is off the body of an Eagle and out into touch for a throw deep in the attacking third for Keystone Oaks. Wind blowing across the pitch from near side to far. So from right to left from the Keystone Oaks attacking perspective. Shrestha bends one out toward the edge of the penalty arc, and that's defended away by South Park. And here they come with a vertical ball. Picking it up on the move is Andrew Spowart. Spowart with the cut-in for South Park. Spowart, defended by 3 Golden Eagles. Spowart tried to poke it past and couldn't do it. It'll be taken on by Simmons and cleared right up the center of the pitch, right to Shrestha. Rohan Shrestha, one of 5 seniors for Keystone Oaks. 12-foot pass there to Randall, who came back, trying to hold up play a bit. But Keystone Oaks gives it away with 4 minutes gone in this first half. No score. South Park and Keystone Oaks. South Park, one of the toughest teams to score on, if not the toughest team to score on in all of WPIAL boys soccer. They have 6 shutouts in 10 matches, and they've allowed 0.3 goals per game. Just 3 total allowed. Or pardon, 7 shutouts, I should say, as they just cleaned up against Steel Valley 2-0 last time out. So, yeah, 7 shutouts in 10 matches, and the other 3 they've given up just 1 apiece. They blanked Keystone Oaks 2-0 down there at South Park last month. So the Golden Eagles looking for vengeance here. As I mentioned, they've had their success against South Park over the last few years. 3 wins against South Park over the past 3 seasons. It's better than any team can say. With his back to the goal, there was Cameron Loveland of South Park, but coughed up by South Park. And now the visitors have to play a little defense. Taken on by Justin Lai, but he hands it over to South Park's Cole Berger, the junior, galloping out of his own end. But he gave it away, handed it right off to Maddox Fingers, who blasted into the South Park end of the pitch. Artificial surface here at Dormont Memorial Stadium. This is Matt Gajtka with the call on Pittsburgh Soccer Now YouTube channel. It's one of our featured games this week, one of 2. We'll have one next week as well at Trinity on Tuesday. There's a foul called against South Park, the second against the Eagles. Not a terribly physical match so far, though. Just a couple of stoppages. 34 and a half minutes to go in the first half. It's 40-minute halves in high school soccer, in case you're unfamiliar. Cole Berger stepping to. Berger ticked this off the leg of Cullen Lyons, the Keystone Oaks winger. Now Berger with the soft throw right to the foot of Rocco Narduzzo. But here it's chested down by Keystone Oaks' Randall. Rutger Randall to give to Shrestha. Shrestha turning this way and that. Wanted to thread a through ball through, but it didn't work out. He was trying to find Lai making a run across the pitch, but they got their signals crossed. Stepping up to take it away for Keystone Oaks is Cullen Lyons. Runs over an Eagle. Play continues on. Shrestha has a man in the middle. That's Lai. Lai 35 yards from goal. Now dishes it on back. Alexak doesn't like what he sees. He'll build some possession, though, and hand it to Sam Music on the back line. Music up the far touchline, and Kushal Karki couldn't get there. It rolls out into touch for a South Park throw. I mentioned South Park. The defense, John Cantwell says this team ranks right up there with any defending team he's had in his 19 years. As he told me the other night, not a lot to complain about when you're 10-0 and 9-0 in section. And they're trying to minimize the wear and tear during this abbreviated, constricted COVID-19 season that every team has had to deal with. The season was shortened by a couple of weeks. As a result, for instance, this week, South Park's going to play 4 matches in a matter of 6 days. They'll round out their section schedule as now it's Berger back 10 yards from his own goal, played it off the leg of Randall. He'll get a throw deep in his own third. But after this one for South Park, Elizabeth Forward on Wednesday night at home, and then at Avonworth, a team that gave them fits at home. 2-1 was all the score was for South Park, their closest match of the season a couple of weeks ago. And then at Chartiers Valley on Saturday before wrapping up the regular season at Waynesburg Central, long trip south. The home crowd's appreciative of the breakup play there by Maddox Fingers, the South Park defender. Now charging up as Sam Music to try to put some pressure on South Park. He does, but now it's Joe Irwin trying to find a man, and he does. All the way over on the far wing side. Reaching in is Shrestha to strip it away, though, from an Eagle. And now Shrestha sprints down the left wing. He pulls up, wants to slow it down, wait for some teammates. He'll find Rutger Randall with a square ball. Randall right back to Shrestha, but it's a little bit too far ahead of him. And dispatched down the pitch by Jason Luffy of South Park. Keystone Oaks back in possession. 8 minutes gone now in a scoreless first half from Dormont. Keystone Oaks trying to make it 5-1 here at home and 8-3 overall. They can get a win, be a huge boost as they prepare for the playoffs. 3 matches left after this one. They're at Steel Valley on Wednesday. And then next week, Sarah Catholic comes here, and they'll be at Carlinton just down the road on Tuesday the 20th. And that'll wrap up the regular year for them. And it appears that, just like usual, we'll have the top 4 teams in each section make the playoffs. Amy Schuneman, the chairman of the WPIAL, hasn't confirmed that, but it appears that'll be the case. At least that's the tea leaves we're reading. Cole Berger couldn't make any headways, but now he'll flag this one down, waist height, with his right boot. He sends in a through ball to Caden Fisher. Fisher trying to drive it through traffic, couldn't do it. Berger steps up now, keeping the ball in the attacking third for South Park. He'll spin it back toward the middle of the pitch here. Picked up by Joe Irwin. Irwin over to Fisher, but offside is South Park. Fisher took a long blast. Just wanted to find the range, apparently. The freshman, a little energetic to start. And I know the Keystone Oaks keeper, Jake Workmaster, didn't like that very much. He thought that was well after the whistle. It sailed over the goal nonetheless. Clock ticking, 30-28 left in the first half. And the far side official, who called the offside, pulls the free kick back. First offside call of this match. No corners yet. Just the one shot on goal, or not even on goal, really, for Keystone Oaks. It was maybe a hopeful cross as much of a shot, but in the end it was cut off by Logan Thomas, the South Park keeper. Throw in for South Park, all the way over on the far side of the field now. About 20 yards from its own goal. The throw to the feet of Caden Fisher. Fisher cracks it up the far flank, but that'll be easily taken on by Keystone Oaks. However, Workmaster shanks the kick. Danger zone for the Golden Eagles, and they do get rid of it. A backtracking job done by Music to get the ball out of danger. And this will be a foul called against Keystone Oaks. A little shove in the back by Cullen Lyons. First foul against the Golden Eagles tonight. So South Park gets to set things up with a little bit of time and space. Joe Irwin will do the honors with his right foot. Gives the signal, and he's going to drive this one deep toward the 18. It's headed out of play, though, by the defending Cy Garcia of Keystone Oaks. Garcia, the freshman. Keystone Oaks graduated a few from last year. It's a pretty well-distributed varsity roster. 5 seniors, 5 juniors, 3 sophomores, more freshmen than anything. So they're looking forward to a bright future here as the long throw comes into the 6-yard box almost, and it's headed over the crossbar. That's the first shot for South Park. No, actually, it's going to be a corner, so it was deflected out. off Keystone Oaks' head. I thought it might have been an Eagles header that directed it toward target initially, so I'll go ahead and say it was a shot. But it ends up being a corner, our first of the match. It goes to the Eagles, and once again, looks like the man with the big leg, Joe Irwin's going to handle it from this near side corner. The left corner flag from the South Park perspective. Players making runs as Irwin drives it centrally, comes loose. Here's a one-time drive that didn't get through. Now a shot, score! Off the rebound of the block try, South Park gets the first goal of this match. And it's Cole Berter, the junior, cashing in off the set piece. 27:49 to go in the first half. And South Park, what else is new? It leads it 1-0. South Park has averaged 4.5 goals per match. It's not just about defense for the Eagles, as Berter showed there, blasting it high under the crossbar and past the outstretched hands of Jake Workmaster. So call it a set-piece goal off of a quick recycle. Like I said, the initial try didn't get through from, I want to say it was Narduzzo. Goal comes officially in the 14th minute. Cole Berter, the defender. Now it's Shrestha, or pardon, Randall actually, trying to slice through, and he does draw the foul just outside the penalty arc, down to my right. So here's an opportunity on the third foul called against South Park tonight. Keystone Oaks. What does Tyler Schultz's team have from the training ground to try to dial one up here? Keystone Oaks, just as potent of an offense as South Park, averaging 4.4 goals per match. Recently, they scored 5 or more in 3 straight before falling 2-1 at Elizabeth Forward on Saturday. And a card has been issued. Center referee, I believe, is sending Berter off to the sideline now. Had to be some sort of a jawing situation going on there, some talking. So South Park's Berter is in the books for both a goal and a yellow card. Again, that happens in the 14th minute too. Shrestha standing over this one to the right, Karki to the left. And the Golden Eagles awaiting the signal to return to play as the clock is stopped with 27:01 remaining in the first half. Keystone Oaks trails it, but here's a golden chance for the Golden Eagles to equalize. A 4-man wall for South Park, 10 yards from the ball. And it'll be Karki shooting a right footer off the crossbar. Deflects high into the air, bounces once, headed down, and flicked out of danger by South Park. Incredible chance. Couple of looks even on the rebound there, but not converting were the Golden Eagles. It remains 1-0 South Park. And this is ripped right into the breadbasket of Logan Thomas from the outside by Simmons of Keystone Oaks. So a couple of shots from that sequence. Now 3 shots for Keystone Oaks and 2 for South Park, but nothing doing on the scoreboard yet for the home team. This is Cameron Loveland of South Park. Chips it up the far wing. Simply ripped out into touch by Music of Keystone Oaks. So a throw-in upcoming. And Caden Fisher will take this one for South Park. 15 minutes into it, nearly. 1-0 South Park on the Cole Berter goal off the set piece. Thrown right into the box and headed clear briefly. Now sent right back into the mix. John Remark tries to settle it down for South Park. He's overrun by Rutger Randall. Randall scuffed that a little bit, but he still got it to its intended target. 20 yards up the field, and Justin Lai getting the start in the place of Trevor Schutz, the usual starting forward. Now Lai makes a run on a high press here, trying to create something. Jake Loper gets there for Keystone Oaks to force a bad pass up the center of the pitch. But Shrestha couldn't pull it around the South Park defender. And here are the Eagles turning it back on the counter. some room here for Berger. He sends it through, but offside on the far wing was Spoart. Excellent chance, but not to be. Second offside against South Park. Pardon, I said that was Berger. That was Fisher. The 6s and the 8s look very similar on these South Park jerseys. That's going to give me some trouble tonight, at least at the start. I apologize for that. This is Matt Gajtka on the play-by-play call. Send me your complaints and compliments after the fact here. Happy to be with you for our 4th featured game on Pittsburgh Soccer Now. An attempted clear there from Maddox's fingers of Keystone Oaks. Whiffed on the first one, but he got the second try out, well out toward midfield. That's where Randall doubles back. Rutger Randall, we heard he was injured at Elizabeth Forward, but he gets the start here tonight. Not only good to go, but more than that, he's playing, although he slips down here on the artificial surface, and he's a little bit slow to rise. Shrestha pressing for Keystone Oaks. South Park trying to piece together some possession here. Their coach, John Cantwell, says he wants his team to play the right way. They don't bang the ball deep. They don't play direct very much at all, unless it's an expressed tactic for a particular game. They love to build it up from the back. As for Tyler Schultz and Keystone Oaks, he feels like his team is starting to get it together after they put an extra body in the midfield, now with 5 midfielders. Shrestha, the attacking midfielder, had the ball on cue there, but he coughed it up at the center stripe. Fisher for South Park. Put it right under the leg of Kirk Berger, who's checked into the match, first sub for South Park, and Coach Cantwell. Over on the far wing, turning to shoot one was Spoart. That was blocked out high, and another block for Keystone Oaks. On the follow-up chance, Shrestha turning this way and that, running a serpentine route up the pitch with the ball at his feet. Now finds Randall near the right touch line. Randall, D'd up here by Berger, who's back into the match after absorbing the yellow card. Randall sprays it far wing side. Kushal Karki. Karki going right back to Randall on the extended give and go, but the ball sailed a little too far, and it's cut off by Thomas, who gobbles it into his midsection. Good soccer on both sides, really. Great read from the keeper, Thomas, to keep Keystone Oaks off the board. You could see where that one was going from up here. Randall gave it up and kept going. Now it's Karki again, wanting to send a deep one. That was over the head of Shrestha, who now looks back to try to win it back for Keystone Oaks. Rushing up is Justin Lai, but he can't get there in time. But here's a fine breakup by Jake Loper, the freshman for Keystone Oaks. Plenty of freshmen getting an opportunity tonight for both sides, despite the fact both teams are in contention. These players are getting some quality reps, and they've contributed to the winning season so far for both sides. Deep throw down the right flank coming up for South Park. As soon as we get a substitution for either side. Cullen Lyons checking in for Keystone Oaks. And the throw will come from over by the fencing as we overlook Banksville Road, Route 19 here in Dormont. Throw bounces once in the area near the 6. Now an attempted first-time drive. Rebound put in. It's a goal. It's a score for South Park on a similar type play that they scored the first one with. And it's 2-0. No, it's not. Pardon me. They blew it dead. Blew it dead on the offside. Player was ahead of the second-to-last defender. I was wondering why no one was celebrating there. They wave it off to the referees. It was the far side official who made the call, of course. Here's a foul against Keystone Oaks. Simmons on the defending. So, pardon me, I didn't think that was offside, and I can hear some South Park fans below me expressing a similar sentiment. But we're about halfway through the first half, and that goal is wiped off the board. I want to say it was Remark who put it in. Out of a crowd, it was a tangle of bodies inside the 18. It's now 20th minute. Free kick coming up to the left of the Keystone Oaks goal. It'll be sent in on a line by Joe Irwin and headed clear and then blasted out into touch by Keystone Oaks. South Park trying to decide who's going to take this throw. No one wanted to go get it at first. Looks like it'll be Fisher. Long throw. It's a good one off the head of Luffy and out over the end line. It's actually Dylan Weiss, pardon me. Weiss with a strong throw. That was a solid 30 yards. He put that one on a line and on a tee, really, but Luffy couldn't get on top of it. Just skipped off the top of his noggin and out. As we cross into the second half of the opening period, if you will. Down to 19:50 to go in the first half. South Park leads it by a goal. Cole Berger in the 14th minute after a corner kick, our only corner kick of this match to this point. Slug toward the Keystone Oaks goal by South Park, but right there, last line of defense is Simmons, and with some poise, he looks up and tries to send one up the middle for a teammate, but right between his intended targets there, Randall and his counterpart forward, Justin Lai. But now Lai will try to flag this one down with help from Shrestha. Not going to happen. It's taken on by Joe Irwin of South Park, who gallops over the midfield line. Now a diagonal ball near side for Spoward, who gets around a defender. Spoward squares it, wants to get it back here, but the through ball is broken up by Simmons, and he sends it high into the Dormont Knight, falling down on the South Park side of the midfield line, almost at the 50-yard line, which obviously there is a 50-yard line here. This is a multi-purpose facility, as you might imagine, football and soccer. Well, both kinds of football, really. A push called against Keystone Oaks. Fourth foul against the Golden Eagles. We'll set up a restart for Joe Irwin once more of South Park with 18.5 to go in the first half. Irwin both arms overhead. Now he swipes them down, and he puts this right on the goal. That'll be picked up by a workmaster out of the air. Routine job for him. Not the easiest play to make on a breezy night. You know that ball's probably playing some tricks on the keepers, especially when it comes in from 50 yards like that one did. Shots are 3-2 still in favor of Keystone Oaks. Lai gave it up at the South Park back line, so he coughed it up for Keystone Oaks. Now Simmons will head it forward. Simmons off to Loper, who got the bottom of his shoe on it. Just a little studs pass there, and a nice one on to Lai. Lai goes far wing. Colby Snatchko, who checked in, or pardon me, that's Lyons, I should say. Cullen Lyons, who checked in. Gave it up, but now here's Simmons trying to get on that second ball for Keystone Oaks, and he does, and he also draws the foul call against Rocco Narduzzo, the junior for South Park. And we have a second whistle here. It'll be a card. A yellow and a red. A red card given here to Dylan Weiss. Weiss has been sent off. It's got to be some sort of talking going on down there because it didn't look that bad. Nothing really happened after the whistle. So Weiss, who, my apologies, he was given the first yellow, so that's his second yellow, and it's an automatic red in that situation, of course. Wow. South Park will play a man short the rest of the night, leading by a goal, still with the majority of the match to go. And again, I wish I could tell you what the reason is. I'm going to guess dissent. That's what John Cantwell of South Park, the 19th year bench boss over there, is wondering, talking through the mask. Okay, then. The ball's been placed 40 yards from the South Park goal. The South Park goal, which has only been perforated 3 times on the season. And the Eagles working on back-to-back shutouts here. Like I said, 7 out of 10 times they blanked their opponents this year. Spinning one into the area. Loose and a stop made. Rebound. Headed off the crossbar. Another rebound. And a whistle sounded. It's an offside call inside the 6 after the carom off the crossbar. You know what? That was a tremendous ball sent in by Alexak to cause all that havoc. But for Keystone Oaks, they just could not convert. Now 5 shots for them. They've done well here. Remember, they were blanked by South Park 2-0 earlier in the season on the road. Tonight at home, a much better effort, but nothing to show for it yet. In fact, they trail, but now they're going up against a 10-man South Park team with Dylan Weiss shown red. Rohan Shrestha, you can tell the Golden Eagles, though, are emboldened by their success in generating opportunities. Shrestha breaks the line with this pass to Justin Lai, but Lai couldn't get by the last defender on the far wing. That's John Remark, who tips it out into touch. Throw in for Keystone Oaks, substitution for Keystone Oaks. Jake Loper will head to the bench. Kushal Karki, the senior wing player, steps right back on. And in the meantime, South Park's going to make a change here too, with Loveland coming off and his freshman classmate Caden Fisher replacing him. Short throw, Shrestha toward goal, and it just missed the top right corner. That was a long-range effort, but a good one from all the way over on the right or left touch line, headed toward the right upright. Actually went right past the gridiron football upright as it drifted out for a goal kick. But now right back to the Keystone Oaks line. They pass it across the back 3, but now it's given up in the midfield. On the move, Andrew Spoart. Near side here, it's Fisher. Fisher to the middle. Turning is Lafferty. Couldn't put on a tee for a teammate, though. South Park will try the right side, but given up and whiffing on the attempted clear was Cy Garcia. But here's Shrestha on the spot to take it. Finds Randall. Randall going deep here for Lai up the center of the field, but it's right into the teeth of that Eagles defense, and it's Jason Luffy handling. And finding his man in the midfield here, Fisher. Fisher, the inward cut, but left the ball behind. Shrestha takes it over for Keystone Oaks, and he appeared to be clipped on the ankle, but play continues. No foul call. Back come the Eagles now. Here to take over is Simmons. Out-muscling the on-rushing Lafferty for South Park. That was a good job there because Lafferty had a full head of steam coming after the ball. Lafferty leaves it back. Sliding tackle by Simmons with Spoart trying to shoot the gap. High level of play here tonight so far. 1-0 South Park. Remember, though, South Park playing a man down, at least for now. And we'll see if any other cards come up for either side. Red cards, that is. But it's 11-10 with Keystone Oaks having the manpower advantage. 14 minutes to go in the first half. An interception of an attempted through ball by Alex Alexak of Keystone Oaks. Here come the Golden Eagles again. Moving down to my right. Shrestha confronted. Had his pass deflect off of a foot, but it hops right to the overlapping Rutger Randall. Randall looking for Lai in the middle once again, but once again it does not connect. Lai perhaps running a little bit too far up the field to allow for a realistic connection. Here's Lafferty on the run for South Park. He gets possession in the offensive third, down near the left corner. He's run off, though. And Maddox fingers for Keystone Oaks. Cullen Lyons for the boys in black. And KO back on it to Lyons. Getting the return feed there from Garcia. Then Lyons handed it right over. Drawing an awe from the crowd. Fisher for South Park. Joe Irwin, central midfield. Far side Remark to Irwin. Unmarked here. 35 yards from goal. Took the left-footed shot, deflects on target, and it's grabbed on the bounce by Workmaster. Workmaster, a strong punt past midfield, but it's taken first time here by Narduzzo. Couldn't make any headways with it. Now Narduzzo takes possession, jumping on that second ball. Pardon that, Spoart, actually. 25, not 26. I told you it was going to happen a few times tonight. Remark over midfield. Put it under the leg of Isaac Poor. And Keystone Oaks keeper Workmaster once again scoops this off the carpet. 12 minutes to go in the first half. 1-0 South Park. Trying to extend its unbeaten mark to 11-0 and 10-0 in Class AA Section 1. Lions finessing one through. Shrestha trying to give a little push off there, but he lost control of the ball. Otherwise, he could have cut inside against the defending of Jason Luffy. Now Fisher to Lafferty. Lafferty swings it far side. Now in the middle, it's Irwin. Up the center of the field and offside the call. Ahead of the last defender, Caden Fisher. Fisher now pressuring against Cullen Lyons. And Lyons will step past him. Lyons finds Rohan Shrestha in the middle of the park. To the left channel again. Shrestha on his left foot, now his right. Serves it over to the wing and too far for Karki to catch up and latch on to. Unfortunate there because Keystone Oaks had something going, it appeared. Final 11 minutes of the first half. South Park leads it 1-0. The throw in for South Park. Deflects off of Keystone Oaks' body. Cy Garcia was the one there. Now Garcia will come off. It's a dual substitution for Keystone Oaks. Jake Loper back on. Cullen Lyons off as Coach Schultz swaps out wing players on this near side. By my count, 5 shots to 3 in favor of Keystone Oaks. And now the Golden Eagles with the ball at their back line, just past the midfield stripe. Sam Music couldn't make a play under pressure. But now it's Pat Simmons. Simmons, who's been in control from the back all first half long. One of the co-captains. He's making a run now as he gave it to Shrestha. Shrestha, though, the elusive one, steps by a defender. Now pulls it back, working against Spowart. But Spowart got a foot in there to poke it off his toe. Sliding tackle at midfield by Simmons on the back track, but he couldn't keep it alive in play. That'll be a throw for South Park, ticking under 10 to go in the first half. On this October the 12th, final week of section play, South Park coach John Cantwell saying this is going to be the toughest week of the year. I told you 4 matches in 6 days, 3 of them in section. Can South Park once again finish unbeaten as it did last year in this section? It's 14 straight W's for last year's WPIAL semifinalist, the South Park Eagles. Pardon, that was 2 years ago they finished unbeaten. Keystone Oaks took down South Park last September. That's the last section loss. 14 in a row since then on the good side for South Park in section. Shrestha, boy, is he shifty. He just turned and fed that one right on the money to the winger Tiernan on the far side. Pardon, that was Karki, I should say. The battle's on for the loose ball inside the left touchline from the Keystone Oaks perspective. Randall tried the back heel, and he stuffed it right off of a South Park leg. Thrown in front of the South Park bench for Keystone Oaks. Randall chests it down. Rutger Randall playing through injury tonight. Jasek Shuey getting a touch for Keystone Oaks. The freshman in the midfield settled that one down. Lovely job by him. Fingers to Music, charging ahead. Music now runs into resistance here in the form of Cameron Loveland, freshman forward for South Park. Music up ahead. Golden Eagles don't like what they see. They'll try the middle now. It's Shuey. Shuey put it off a foot. Simmons sent it ahead, but Shuey wasn't making the run. However, taking it on the move is Jake Loper cutting inside. Loper with Lai now cutting in. Some freshmen getting some serious touches here. In a big matchup, 1-0. Keystone Oaks trails South Park, trying to avoid a second consecutive loss as they fell at Elizabeth forward 2-1 tough one on Saturday. That broke the winning streak. Previous to that, they had beaten East Allegheny 6-1, Avonworth 5-1, and South Allegheny 8-1. So they took care of the bottom feeders, the teams that are apparently going to miss the playoffs, it looks like, maybe, in Section 1. Avonworth's in 5th. They're one game back of Steel Valley. So it's either Steel Valley or Avonworth that's going to hold that fourth and final postseason spot in this section. South Park's in first. Elizabeth Forward is in second. Elizabeth Forward can still catch South Park. Outside chance at 8-1-1. South Park at 9-0 in the section. And then there's Keystone Oaks at 7-3. The Golden Eagles of KO are chasing the ball right now, though. Spowart darts to the outside. Knocked that ball off the foot of a Golden Eagle. 6 minutes to play in the first half. Eagles up by 1 over the Golden Eagles here in Dormont at the Memorial Stadium. I'm Matt Gajtka. This is Pittsburgh Soccer Now's exclusive live coverage of WPIAL soccer. Class 2A boys on display here. This will be a throw-in that skips out for South Park, so Keystone Oaks gets a chance to restart play on its own terms. Rocco Norduzzo flips it toward the center of the park for South Park. Now taken by Irwin on the follow-up. Irwin wanted to send a man in there. That was Loveland, but it's 10 feet past him and gathered in by Workmaster. Workmaster tries to trigger the attack. His punt, again headed down by the ever-present Joe Irwin. Irwin's everywhere for South Park in that defensive midfield. He's running the show tonight, clearly. Simmons sends up this near side. A vertical route for Keystone Oaks doesn't connect. He wanted to find Jake Loper. But now Lai takes over for Keystone Oaks. To the middle, between the hash marks, it's Rohan Shrestha. Shrestha to the corner with this pass. Finding Kushal Karki. Got around one man, hit the corner flag. That's in. That stayed in play. Now everyone stopped. He crosses, and eventually figuring that one out was Luffy to head it clear. Boy, that was a weird moment. It clanged off the flag itself, which is in play. It looked like Karki wasn't quite sure of the rule there, but yes, that's part of the field. Here's South Park now. On the run, galloping forward is Spowart. Andrew Spowart to the left channel. Dubs one back, looking for the trailer in the middle of the field, but it's cracked away from Cameron Loveland. It was a little bit late on that play. Didn't close the gap enough to give Spowart a decent target there. 4:07 left in the first half. We go up and down the pitch. Here comes Keystone Oaks, attacking to the goal to the right from this perspective. Press box side here at Dormont Memorial Stadium. But now Keystone Oaks wants to slow it down. And Music, he's back there with Maddox fingers. He'll switch play to this near side for Simmons. Simmons to Loper. Loper wanted to volley his own first touch. Lai getting in there. Working hard. Now it's Cole Berter, the goal scorer for South Park, and he did enough to draw the foul call. South Park has traveled well tonight, by the way. 5th foul against Keystone Oaks. It's hard to tell who's the home team. Limited fans allowed, of course, in this COVID-19 season, unfortunately. I'm just happy they let media in the ballpark. 3:08 and ticking left in the first half. And it'll be Joe Irwin again. South Park with 4 defenders back. Not taking any chances here playing down a man. Remember that. Irwin driving one toward the top of the Keystone Oaks 18-yard box. Headed into the air once and twice, and Shrestha will usher it away to the sideline. Now Shrestha gets a foot in there to break up the Cole Berter attempted feed. But it's Irwin for South Park. On the overlap, here's Fisher. Fisher putting a short side drive on the frame, and an easy save for Workmaster on South Park's 4th shot of the night. That's really Workmaster's first save of a true shot. Had a couple go wide, a couple go into defenders' legs, and one go in from Cole Berger in the 14th minute. That's the only goal so far in this one. Throw in for South Park. 2 minutes to go in the first half. Substitution for South Park and Keystone Oaks. Fresh players rotating in. Keystone Oaks just has the one other match this week at Steel Valley, as I mentioned earlier. South Park, no such luck. Elizabeth Forward at home Wednesday, Thursday at Avonworth to close out the section schedule, and then at Chartiers Valley. The Colts will host the Eagles on Saturday. Short recovery time, though, for Keystone Oaks. That Saturday loss scuttled their chances of climbing into the second spot in the section. So I might have taken some steam off this one, as Tyler Schultz told me before the game. Schultz in his first year coaching, former Baldwin player and assistant coach, but now in his first year as the head coach at this level, I should say. Said the team's still gelling with the new staff, new style. I mentioned they've fiddled with the formation a bit. They used to have 3 forwards. Now they have 5 midfielders. Shrestha through to Randall. Couldn't get around the last man. South Park breaks it up. Wonderful job there by Kyle Hamilton. Take that away. Or pardon me, that was Peyton Pauline. 29, not 19. Pauline is one of the players that Coach Cantwell raved about in our chat a couple of days ago. Part of the reason why this team has given up just 3 goals in 10 matches. Last half minute, Randall has some space, though, suddenly for Keystone Oaks. Running at defenders, making them turn, heads to the right flank. Now stops up, just gets inside the 18-yard box. To the outside, shooting! 2 feet over the crossbar. What a blast, though, from Randall. Got that possessed look in his eye there. He knew that he had to make something happen quickly. Down to 10 seconds to go in the first half. Doesn't even look like goalkeeper Logan Thomas is going to put it back into play for South Park as you hear the buzzer signaling the end of the first half of play. Colberter with the only goal of that first half for South Park. The Eagles with a down payment on another victory, but they still have a long way to go. They're down a man and just up a goal as we head into the intermission. This is Matt Gajtka with the play-by-play on Pittsburgh Soccer Now's YouTube page. More action to come when we return from Dormont Memorial Stadium, home of the Keystone Oaks Golden Eagles. They trail the South Park Eagles 1-0. Stay with us. The buzzer is sounded. We're set for the second half, or just about set for the second half from Dormont Memorial Stadium, where the Keystone Oaks Golden Eagles are looking at a 1-0 deficit to the visiting and undefeated number 1 ranked South Park Eagles. South Park ahead on a Cole Berger goal in the first half. South Park, though, playing a man short for the rest of the way due to a red card issued to senior Dylan Weiss. Actually, it was a double yellow variety of red card, but either way, that adds up to an 11-10 advantage on the pitch for the Keystone Oaks Golden Eagles, trying to make it 8 wins in section and trying to, once again, deal South Park a defeat. South Park doesn't lose much, but when they do, it's usually to the Keystone Oaks Golden Eagles. South Park starts with the ball, but they give it right away. And now KO will try to work it out of its own end. It's Cy Garcia. Now the boys in black, Keystone Oaks, black with the gold and the white trim, working from right to left in this second half. Rohan Shrestha had a lot of the ball in that first half. He's called for the foul there. No, pardon me. He was the one who was fouled, and the South Park bench hates it. Coach John Cantwell leading the protest. Of course, that's not going to help anything. The call is final, as it always is. Fouls were 5-4, with Keystone Oaks having one more in that first half, but now it's 5-all. Just one corner kick in the first half. That went to South Park, and that led to the goal. The only goal of this game. The free kick from midfield went into a wall of bodies, bounces back out toward the midfield line. Justin Lai slipped it through. This is Simmons of Keystone Oaks, lofting it 25 yards from goal. Rooker Randall trying to run onto it, but he's stripped at the last second, and he comes up a little bit gimpy. He's fighting a lower body injury he suffered on Saturday in that loss to Elizabeth Forward. Keystone Oaks with 3 losses in section. That's their most since 2017 when they finished 9-3. They've had a winning record in section every year since 2016 when they finished 4-7-1. 2 years ago, they were 12-0 and WPIAL quarterfinalists. Last year, they were 10-1-1 in section, but finished second to South Park, which was 11-1. The only loss was to Keystone Oaks, as I alluded to just a moment ago. Goal kick coming up for South Park. Jason Luffy just protected the ball as it trundled over the end line. 38 minutes left in regulation time. South Park still hanging on to that 1-0 lead. It looks like South Park has changed keepers, as Coach Cantwell is wont to do this season at the half. That appears to be Preston Sakati. But I want to confirm that. Once he turns his back, there's no number on the front of his gold keeper's jersey. So here's Shrestha going up against, well, one of the two quote-unquote starting keepers for South Park. Shrestha, though, ran into some trouble there. It was a rush attempt broken up by Joe Irwin. And now here's a fine play by Kirk Berger of South Park to stretch out and intercept a pass from Alex Alexak, who is trying to hook up to his attacking midfield. So Keystone Oaks has to start again. Music switches it up to the right flank for Simmons. Simmons, a 10-foot pass to Cy Garcia toward the middle. It's redirected ahead by Alexak on to Shrestha. Now back to Alexak. Tough pass there, right to the feet of Kirk Berger, who ripped it right away. But he coughed it back up. So here's Shrestha. Shrestha to the outside, sprays one here near wing for Kushal Karki. Karki drifted it on back. Alexak into the mix with a driven ball, but that's cleared out by South Park. Now 30 yards from goal. It'll be Simmons slipping it in to Cullen Lyons. Lyons, now Cy Garcia trying to split the gap. Can't do it. It's off his foot and onto the boot of Austin Lafferty. South Park just defending, surviving right now. But they haven't given up any golden chances yet in this second half. Keystone Oaks hit the crossbar late in that first half. Could have easily converted a header after that. Kushal Karki, back post cross, bouncing through. And it's all the way over to the far side where Cole Berger will lean in and win the goal kick. set down by keeper Sakati. And he'll rip a goal kick all the way to the midfield line, exactly where Simmons settles it down. But the Keystone Oaks pass goes right under the boot of Justin Lai and out for a throw for South Park. South Park playing its 5th road match. 6-0 at home, 4-0 on the road. Eagles are, still 5 matches away from getting through the regular season unscathed. 5 matches in 8 days to finish the regular season. So yes, the Eagles will be using their bench liberally, you'd imagine, tonight and in the coming days. At least they'll get a day off before they have to take on Elizabeth Forward on Wednesday. This one figured to be intense, and it has been. And a tight one. Tighter than usual for South Park this year. Long-range shot from Alex Alexak of Keystone Oaks. That was blocked down at the point of attack by Spoart. Now spun into the area by Music and grabbed onto by Sakati, the keeper for South Park. He'll launch this one. Bounces once at midfield. Taken on a hop with a header by Sam Music to Garcia. Garcia to Simmons. Pat Simmons looks upfield. Has his man with a 20-yard ball right on the money to Rohan Shrestha. Shrestha darted toward the sideline. Now he cuts inwardly from the interior to the exterior. It switches over to the left flank. Kushal Karki. Karki on the battle here. One-on-one against Kirk Berger. It's a good fight for possession. And Berger and the Eagles of South Park win it. And they dispatch it to the midfield line. Back to retrieve is Music. Under some duress from Austin Lafferty of South Park. But Music will escape, find a couple of yards of room. Couldn't clear it up the center of the pitch, though. Wanted to get it past Spoart, unable to do so. But now it's stripped away by Rutger Randall. Randall trying to center one, and it's off the leg of a South Park defender. That was John Remark, and it's the first corner of the match for Keystone Oaks. Karki will take it. Keystone Oaks down a goal, 1-0, 7 minutes into the second half. Karki going to the front door with it, and no one home. You could hear from the South Park bench someone saying, where was he going with that? Maybe a mishit from Karki, hard to tell. But on the clearance, Joe Irwin. Who else? The defensive midfielder of South Park. Wearing the distinctive white headband. Easy to pick out for that, but easier to pick out for his play tonight. He must have a dozen clearances by now. Randall stepping to for Keystone Oaks. Now Shrestha with the hold-up play. Shrestha wants to shoot and will. One hopper. And Sakati has it secured in the goalie gloves. Seventh shot for Keystone Oaks. Nothing on the board, though. Karki nearly handled that one. It bounced awkwardly with some spin, but the referees allow the play to continue. It was right near the shoulder. He didn't move his shoulder forward, so that helped the cause. Didn't intentionally play it. Stone turning for Keystone Oaks. He's dispossessed. Actually, that was Garcia. Now it is Garcia again. We're number 9 in black. Squares it over to the left wing for Alex Alexak, or the left channel, I should say. Wanted to blast it through to the wing, and it's taken away. Smooth defending by Cameron Loveland of South Park. Way out to knock this one ahead is the keeper for Keystone Oaks, Jake Workmaster. Hasn't been heard from recently. With South Park down a player, first half red card to Dylan Weiss, if you're joining us late, has led to an 11-on-10 situation in favor of the home team, but they still trail it by a goal. They've been shut out now a cumulative 3-0 on the season by South Park. Long lead ball from South Park's Lafferty, and not even trying to chase that was Austin Spoart. He's saving some energy, as you might expect. Could be a long haul here for South Park in terms of expending energy and protecting this 1-0 lead. Of course, they'd love to add to it, but they may not be taking many chances. Like I said, it's a busy week upcoming. Shrestha darting through defenders. Shrestha with another soft ball there. A beautiful one to Cy Garcia. 30 yards from goal. He lets rip, and a stop by Sakati falling down to his right. Keystone Oaks, another promising attack, but with 10 minutes gone in the second half, the shutout remains intact for South Park. I can't imagine the Eagles have given up that many inward-cutting chances, though, this season, judging by their defensive record. Like I said, two high-powered offenses at the start of this one. 4.5 goals per game for South Park, 4.4 just behind him for Keystone Oaks. Goal kick upcoming for South Park. By the way, John Cantwell is assisted by Mark Ballora, Andy Jackson, and Ted Sakati on the South Park sideline. On the Keystone Oaks sideline, Tyler Schultz, the first-year bench boss, assisted by John McCarthy, Eric Mikulski, and J.P. Nicola. The athletic trainer is Josh Reedy on call for both sides. That's your full cast of characters. Now we can continue on with Rutger Randall heading it down, sending a ball in the direction of Rohan Shrestha. He's on the battle here, 1v1 there with Jason Luffy. Luffy just blasted out into touch. Throw deep in the attacking third for Keystone Oaks. Randall shows to the ball, but instead it'll come back to Simmons on the sideline. Simmons off a South Park leg. Fisher, the freshman, got a toe in there to disrupt it, lead to another Keystone Oaks throw. Randall couldn't pick it out. It'll be Simmons again, and another throw-in for Keystone Oaks in front of its own bench. 35 yards from goal. This is Matt Gajtka on the play-by-play call for Pittsburgh Soccer Now's YouTube channel. We'll have full photo coverage of this one, in addition to a short story from John Krasinski. He's going to talk to one of the heroes of the night, possibly a coach as well, via Zoom. And we'll have the full play-by-play available to you right there on the page, as it is embedded now, I believe, last I checked. Goal kick for Keystone Oaks coming up. Jake Workmaster to do the duty. Skips one to Music. Sam Music. That off-balance stride of his. Finding Garcia, the defensive midfielder. It's a 3-5-2 for Keystone Oaks. Right now for South Park, it appears to be a 4-4-1, if they're even playing a forward at the moment. Just in a defensive posture down that man. Karki couldn't slide it through for Keystone Oaks from the left wing. Now Lai will try to switch play, but his aerial ball is flagged down and cleared. Colberter doing the job that time. On the second ball, though, are the Golden Eagles. Alexak to Garcia. Now Simmons puts the laces into this one hard, and it's down at the 18-yard box. Drops down. Randall fighting for a loose ball, and he ends up getting called for the trip. Taking the legs out from under Andrew Spoart, the junior midfielder. First foul of the half against Keystone Oaks. 13 minutes in. The field is tilting down to my left. As you would expect, a good offensive team like Keystone Oaks with an extra man on the field, especially playing down. Here's Spoart for South Park. Couldn't get around Randall, who stepped back to put in a defensive shift, and he did it well. Karki slows things down for Keystone Oaks. Wanted to hit Shrestha. The pass was deflected. Randall's making a run. He's going to outbody a man. Now Shrestha, 20 yards out. Shrestha wanted to shoot it. Now he'll give here. This is Alexak. Didn't let it fly. And it'll be Shrestha overlapping and shooting off his own man. It hit Alexak in the back, and there's some confusion there. Both Shrestha and Alexak chatting things over. One of them wanted the other to shoot. I think at some point it just never happened. South Park was defending it pretty well. They were backing off, though. There could have been an opportunity to send one through a gap. But now South Park with it. Spoart with a deft little flick to at least get it out to the midfield area. Karka chipping it ahead for Keystone Oaks. And on two bounces, it's in the possession of keeper Sakati. He rolls it out to the far side. Fisher was tripped up, dispossessed. Play continues. Simmons now, the center back for Keystone Oaks, missed on that attempted lead pass, slides out for a goal kick, and we'll have substitutions for both sides on the way. Thanks to all the folks who've tuned in at some point tonight. I have 106 total viewers at some point on the evening. Nice turnout for this WPIAL Class AA Section 1 showdown, and that is not hyperbole. Sometimes you hear that in sports broadcasting, showdown all the time. This really is one. When these two teams meet, it's usually good, especially the past 3 or 4 seasons. Tonight, no exception, but just the one goal on the score sheet. Cole Berter, the junior, crashed in to net a goal off a corner kick 14 minutes in. So we have now played more than a full half without another goal. Not really surprising, even with South Park down a man due to the red card to Dylan Weiss back in the first half. That was 24 minutes in, so it's been a while now that South Park's had to play down. But they're holding up pretty well, getting bodies behind the ball, well-coached team, as you'd imagine. John Cantwell knows what he's talking about when it comes to the defensive side, comes to soccer in general. I like what he had to say the other night in our discussion, talking about wanting his teams to play the right way as Kushal Karki can't handle this ball at his feet. South Park throw near midfield. But he said he feels a responsibility to these kids to develop them the right way and not have them just play kickball, if you will, and rip it up the wing, rip it up the center of the field, and go run after it. He wants them to build up possession. Tonight's going to be a different story, I think, in this second half, and it has been. They're not playing with the ball very much, but they're going to play smart. You know that. Barry Ozimek closing for South Park. He's a new face into the match, and I'd imagine we'd see some fresh legs in periodically here with a team trying to defend. Spoart doubling back to take this deflected pass for South Park. Jasek Shuey for Keystone Oaks regains it, though. On the attacking side of midfield, Keystone Oaks and Rutger Randall. Randall to Shrestha. Shrestha feints one way, now shoots the other, and with a left-footed blast, it's not hit very well. It's on 3 bounces to Sakati. Still a shot for Keystone Oaks. They lead in that area 9-4. Hasn't been often this season that they've been limited to this degree, but South Park shut them out the first time. Barry Ozimek for South Park at least made things interesting for a bit, but once again, Keystone Oaks back in possession. Just the 3 losses this season and only the 1 by shutout for Keystone Oaks. Randall sprinting ahead. Rutger Randall cannot beat the man to the ball. Peyton Pauline swept over to save the day. Pauline just timed his run perfectly, and South Park even wins the throw-in on the far wing. Peyton Pauline, that's a good defender where you don't really talk about him that much, and then all of a sudden there he is in the perfect position at the perfect moment to break things up. Ushering a ball down the far wing are the South Park Eagles. Ozimek will take this give from Caden Fisher and the switch of play. And here's South Park for the first time on the attack in the second half. John Remark passed it through Austin Lafferty. Lafferty can't track it down near the end line. And, well, no, he did, and he put it off of a Keystone Oaks defender. That's a corner kick. Corner kick, and a wonderful job by Lafferty to make that happen. Corner kick number 2 in the match for South Park. Irwin to take it, the senior. 4 Eagles lining up at the edge of the 18 on the left side. The kick's going to be from the right flank. Irwin's going to try a left-footed in-swinger, it appears. Sending it high, too high on the backside as it turned out. And it'll trickle over to the far touchline. Keystone Oaks wants to turn it up and not let South Park get a chance to come back, but they will. Good job there after Remark had a double back, but covering for his teammate, Andrew Spoart, to make sure nothing untoward happened on the counterattack. Keystone Oaks now with 20 minutes to play in the second half, losing control on the attack. Alex Alexak. Just a heavy touch and an easy takeaway for South Park. Rutger Randall takes a nifty feed here. Randall into the area. It's flagged down by Shrestha, but can he keep it before it trickles over the end line? He can get there in time, and then it's belted out by Remark of South Park. Throw in for Keystone Oaks. Left flank. Sam Music, the curver for the back post, headed in! Tie score! Rutger Randall on the spot. 1-1. He wasn't even supposed to play tonight, and he's put the Keystone Oaks Golden Eagles back on level terms with South Park for just the fourth time all season. South Park has conceded, and it's against rival Keystone Oaks. We got a good one here. 60th minute of play. By my count, Randall's 14th of the season. Sam Music with a beautiful ball in. And it's a new game in Dormont. So Keystone Oaks playing up a man, has one. Can they get a second? They've been on the front foot all second half. And this is a foul called against Kushal Karki on the near side. Well, the keeper, Sakati, couldn't get out there in time to cut off the flashing header by Rutger Randall, the senior. And on their 10th shot, Keystone Oaks finally breaks through. 1-1, final 20 of regulation should be good. Glad you're with us here on Pittsburgh Soccer Now. Lai wanted to guide that ball through onto Lyons. That didn't work. And South Park's Fisher handed it right back over near midfield. Turning away from pressure, Cy Garcia. I heard a couple of folks here tonight saying, well, we hope that we give South Park a good one. We hope that we give Pittsburgh Soccer Now a good match. And, well, your Golden Eagles have delivered. No doubt about it. Music, who had the assist on the goal. Music to Randall. Again, with that possessed look in his eye. Easy to see how he's reached double digits in goals so far this season. One of the top scorers in all of WPIAL boys soccer. Cy Garcia, the freshman for Keystone Oaks. Now the Golden Eagles working with possession comfortably. Alexak doubling back. Nearly gave that one away, but he gets back on the second ball. Simmons slugs it across the pitch. It's on to Music on this near side. Music over the midfield line, but unable to put it through the right foot of Andrew Spoart. Karki on the chase here in the left flank. Karki can't get there in time to prevent the goal kick. So it was last off in a Golden Eagle foot. It is a corner, yes. I thought for a moment that South Park had made a mistake not trying to clear that. So there it is. How about that strangeness? Corner kick coming up. It was last off a deflection of South Park, and so Keystone Oaks, the beneficiary of another chance here. Karki's first corner was suboptimal. What will it do for the second one? Out toward the top of the 18, rattles around and blasted away by South Park. Out to Simmons. Simmons half shanked that one. It'll head out over the right touchline. Chasing was Loper, but he couldn't catch up. 17 minutes to go in the second half. 1-1 the score. Keystone Oaks and South Park. Live from Dormont. So much of the ball has gone to Keystone Oaks in this second half. They work up a man. Do the Golden Eagles. Alexak plays it negatively right back to his center back. Maddox fingers. Tempted ball to the corner, blocked down by South Park. Here's Barry Ozimek. Ozimek to the far side, and Loveland. Loveland sending a ball in and causing some havoc. Andrew Spoart, but defending there. Sam Music to keep it away from Spoart, who wanted to slide right through. Now it's Remark. Dishing it off the leg of a Golden Eagle defender, Garcia. And it hops into the goal box. Workmaster's on it for the black and gold. Workmaster to Shrestha. Beautiful little back heel toward the sideline, but Karki can't catch up before it just barely rolls out. 16 minutes left in regulation. 1-1. South Park's unblemished record is in jeopardy. Keystone Oaks, like I said, can't catch Elizabeth forward now because of lack of matches, but they can finish their regular season at 9-3 in league with a couple of wins here at the end. And certainly go in with some serious push if they can beat South Park. Rutger Randall run off the ball, but now he's on it again. Allows it to head out for a throw. And a substitution for Keystone Oaks. Justin Lai is in. Cullen Lyons is out. Freshman for junior swap for Coach Schultz. Randall hops on a loose ball. 40 yards from goal, back to the goal. So he'll hook up with Music. It was Music to Randall a few moments ago to tie it up on the header on the back post. Right side from the from the Keystone Oaks perspective. Randall intercepts an attempted cross in the left channel. Randall turning onto his right foot. Randall run off the ball. Challenge from Spoart, and no call. Ruled to be illegal, shoulder to shoulder. Randall went sprawling down. Thought that was right on the edge of legality. It's Fingers to Music. Music up the center of the pitch. Shrestha unable to get there in time to prevent the clear for South Park once again. 1-1's your score. Now 14 minutes left in regulation. If we get to the end of regulation and it's tied, 2 10-minute periods of overtime. Sudden death situation. Spoart ran himself into some trouble. It's broken up by Keystone Oaks, and trying to shoot it was Randall. It's blocked right back to Shrestha. 18 yards out. Shrestha cuts inside, shoots, and scores! 2-1 Keystone Oaks. Shrestha on the ball. The dart move inside and the right-footed finish inside the left post with 13:33 left in regulation. Golden Eagles by 1. And give Randall credit. I'm not sure he'll get an assist on that necessarily. I'd give him one. 67th minute. Still 13:33 to go, as I mentioned, but Shrestha has put Keystone Oaks ahead for the first time tonight. And now South Park's going to have to step on the accelerator despite playing a man short due to the red card to Dylan Weiss, which I think was for dissent in the first half or some sort of unsportsmanlike conduct. It wasn't a dangerous foul or anything like that. I couldn't tell. Justin Lai handed it over. South Park, it would be interesting to see how they turn it up. They're going to have to. It's Aiden Giles. He of the 4 or 5 goals on the season. Giles escaping down the right flank. Banged it off the body of Kushal Karki. Throw in for South Park. 2-1 Keystone Oaks on the Rohan Shrestha goal. Dramatics tonight in Dormont. And we're just happy to be here. Myself as well as photographer Ed Thompson. I see him down there behind the goal to my right. You'll see his photos on PittsburghSoccerNow.com. The throw-in finds Irwin. Irwin, right-footed rip, goes over the top of the keeper. Workmaster, he turned. That had been a helpless feeling, but it slides wide of the left post by a couple of feet. Mercy. First shot attempt for South Park, and that came that close to chipping the keeper. I'm not sure that was the intent of Irwin necessarily, but he nearly pulled it off anyway from 30 yards away. Foul against South Park on the far flank. It hasn't been a very physical second half because South Park's just been backing off and trying to contain as opposed to challenge. But now it's going to be a different story, I bet, with 11:41 and ticking to go in the second half. And in regulation time, 2-1 Keystone Oaks. 2 goals in the second half, 1 for Randall, 1 for Shrestha. You could say the usual suspects have come to play for the black and gold. Loper rips it away for Keystone Oaks, but not for long. South Park's Spoart looking to make something happen. Unable to do so. The ball goes out to South Park, I believe. Yes, it'll be a throw all the way over in front of their bench for Caden Fisher. Fisher to Spoart. Spoart has had plenty of touches tonight. Tall, domineering figure on the pitch. One of the Golden Eagles goes tumbling. No foul call to the displeasure of the home partisans in front of me. Big thanks to Coach Schultz and the entire Keystone Oaks program for having us in. It's been a fun night. The hospitality has been awesome. This is tremendous press box as well. Selfishly, got to love the perch to call this one at Dormont Memorial Stadium. South Park down a goal now. South Park 10-0, ranked number 1 by the Post-Gazette and the Tribune Review this week in Class AA. But here's Randall slicing inside. Randall changing pace. Randall played it through, but unable to connect with Justin Lai, who was zigging when Randall thought he was zagging to the outside. And it's handled there by Sakati. Punt to the midfield. Foul against South Park. And I believe that's Isaac Poor there, who knocked his man off the ball. And we do have some talking again and a call for a booking, but nothing to come from the center referee. Keystone Oaks taking its time, as you'd imagine, on the restart. Up 2-1, under 10 to play. Pat Simmons driving it over the head of Justin Lai, who ducked down there. He wanted to play the second ball, didn't work out. Headed skyward and given away by Keystone Oaks' fingers. But back to help him out is Sam Music. Music has an assist tonight, and he's played stalwart defense for Keystone Oaks for the most part. So as the entire Keystone Oaks team, outside of that spilled ball that led to the opening goal for Cole Berger in the 14th minute. Randall scored, though, for Keystone Oaks in the 60th minute, and in the 67th, Rohan Shrestha running right, shooting left, and it paid off for the go-ahead goal. Headed forward, though, by South Park. Lafferty spinning, trying to get a shot off, couldn't do it. Now Irwin sends it back through to the corner flag, or toward it. Spoart came out to try to handle it, but it's cracked out of play by fingers. Jake Workmaster was thinking about spurting off his line too, but he stayed rooted, relatively speaking. 8:22 and rolling to go in the second half. Looks like Peyton Pauline jumping into the play now for South Park. It'll be a throw. So Pauline called him to duty from the back line. He wants to get his offense engaged. Hey, he's one of the best players, so Coach Cantwell is giving him a shot. The Eagles switch play. It's Remark, a little too deliberate, though, and his attempted clear was blocked. Karki to the middle, finding Justin Lai, who turned, but it's clipped off his leg by Joe Irwin on the able backtrack. 7.5 minutes left. 2-1 Keystone Oaks. The throw-in. And Shrestha trying to dart through bodies. Got past one, but not the second. It's broken up. And here's South Park. Lafferty ran into trouble, ran into resistance there right at the midfield line in the form of Sam Music. John Remark, the junior defender, looks upfield, but right there to intercept and blast right back down Sam Music. On the runs Lai out from his goal to grab it. Preston Sakati, the junior keeper for South Park. Sakati hasn't had much of a chance on the 2 shots that have gotten by him in this second half. No foul in a collision near the touchline. It's just a throw-in for South Park. And now the throw-in for Keystone Oaks. Directly at midfield. Just past 9 o'clock in Dormont. Late night excitement at the home of the Golden Eagles. A 2-goal second half for them. They lead it 2-1, trying to hand South Park its first defeat of the season. South Park coming in at 10-0 with no draws either. Shrestha controlling with a quick move, a turn and a pivot, but his lined pass to the far touchline too hot to handle, evidently for Lai. Now Rutger Randall doubling back. Randall's had a heck of a game too, and Randall finds the Jets. Randall sprinting through defenders. Randall runs right through Remark, and the ball comes loose. Backheeled over to Karki. Kushal Karki, the senior winger. To Lai, long range blast, sails wide right. 5.5 left in the second half. Still 2-1, Keystone Oaks. South Park trailing by 1, down a man as well. They've been down a man for more than a half now. The yellow card to Weiss came at the 24th minute. We're now into the 75th. So about 50 minutes of play with just 10 men on the field, 9 outfield players, of course. Tough to do. And now when you trail, it's even more difficult to shift into an attacking gear. And like I said, it's a 4-match week for South Park. The COVID schedule coming to a head for the Eagles in the coming days. Keeper Workmaster thought about coming out. He'll just let it roll right to him. On that artificial surface, you have that opportunity to sit back a little bit because it's not going to lose much speed when it comes in on the ground. But his punt just sails out near midfield, right between the 2 benches on the far side from this broadcast perspective. This is Matt Gajtka on the call for Pittsburgh Soccer Now. Fantastic match in Class AA WPIAL tonight. Boys soccer at its finest in Western PA. Rowan Shrestha connects on a little square ball to Rutger. Rutger chips one for Karki on the left flank. Karki slows it down. Finds Rutger Randall. Randall stepping over it, working against 2 South Park defenders. Now leaves it for Karki. Back to Randall. Still 20, 25 yards from goal. And Karki mishandled out. The Golden Eagles killed some time, but couldn't make anything happen there from the corner in terms of a chance, or even a half chance. Stepping to is Sam Music for Keystone Oaks. Now up to head-to-head. Fingers. Cole Berter lost control. The Keystone Oaks crowd loves it, and Sam Music asked for a new ball from the ball boy there on the near sideline. A savvy veteran move. Flick-on header by Garcia sets up Randall in the left corner. Rutger Randall with a goal in this match. Wants to play setup man here. It slides all the way through to the far side, and a shot and a save. A save by Chakati, keeping South Park within striking distance. That was Jake Loper, I think. No, it was actually Cullen Lyons, the winger who stepped up, sensed that there was a chance afoot, and he was correct. Under 3 to play in the second half. Nearly a point-blank chance, but read well by Sakati. Justin Lai right up the middle. Laid it off to the corner. Left side again, it's Rutger Randall. He has a thought to run and hide here. Instead takes the throw, as it was played out inadvertently by John Remark of South Park. 2:26 left in the second half. Keystone Oaks with the throw. Deep in the attacking third where they want to be. Shrestha, who has the go-ahead strike. Shrestha darting left and then right, holding on to the ball. Put through traffic, on goal by Alexak. Handled on 2 bounces there by Sakati. Shots are 11-4 for Keystone Oaks. And this will be off the leg of Fisher of South Park at the 50-yard line. And another Keystone Oaks throw with under 2 to play in regulation time. The Golden Eagles on the verge of an upset, but they need to still bleed 2 more minutes off the clock, give or take. This is Lions. Some smooth moves near the touchline. Lofted ball toward the corner, wanting to go back to Lions, and he will. Lions pulls it down, and it's poked off his foot for a corner kick. That's a big play there. That'll kill at least another half minute, you would imagine. Shrestha is going to put this ball down and play it short, actually, quickly. I didn't see that coming. Shrestha didn't kill as much time as I thought. And now South Park will clear off the mishandle and flicked ahead. Here's Fisher sending it forward, running onto it now to try to catch up is Lafferty, but out to play it away is Workmaster, and then he's run over outside of his goal, well beyond his goal box by Cole Berger, but Workmaster saving the day, and now we have a stoppage in play and a yellow card coming up to, actually that was Giles, 39, Aiden Giles, and he has to go off the field as per the rule. Giles was just doing everything he could with 55 seconds left to create a second chance after Lafferty nearly split the gap, and that would have been disaster for Keystone Oaks. South Park hasn't had a sniff really in the second half, and they nearly got one in the final minute. But it'll be a free kick 30 yards away from the Keystone Oaks goal for Keystone Oaks. 55 seconds left. Clock stops, second half. Golden Eagles by a goal. And Music, the trigger man, simply rolls it ahead. Simmons gets rid of it. Karki kept it alive in bounds, and then Rooker Randall just slammed it off the fencing here. He doesn't care. He wants to get some bodies behind the ball. 3/4 of a minute to go. The throw-in flagged down by Peyton Pauline. Will he join the attack? Couldn't get it by Randall, though. Play still at midfield. And a shoulder charge by Luffy of South Park, but Keystone Oaks keeps the ball, so the referee kept his whistle in his pocket. 26 seconds left. Throw in for South Park now. Remark tosses it up. Foul called against Keystone Oaks and Kushal Karki. Restart upcoming, and the clock's running with 12 seconds left. Now down to 10 and 9 seconds. One final chance here. If South Park can set it up, Joe Irwin, 4 seconds. He doesn't have much time. Takes a big run back and now drives it ahead, but time's going to run out. Buzzer sounds. Keystone Oaks wins it. Golden Eagles 2. Eagles of South Park 1. For the first time this season, South Park has lost. And Keystone Oaks picks up the big upset for the 4th straight time. South Park loses a game in Section 1, Class AA, and it's to Keystone Oaks. If someone's going to beat South Park, I suppose we should have known it was going to be KO, and they get the KO. Here in their final home section match, 2-1, Rohan Shrestha with the game-winning goal. Rutger Randall, though, with the equalizer, 2 goals in the second half for the Golden Eagles, and they pull it out. They beat the visiting South Park Eagles. South Park drops to 10-1, 9-1 in the section for the unanimous number 1 team in Class AA coming into this week. And for Keystone Oaks, now 8-3 overall and 8-3 in section. Phenomenal matchup tonight. 2-1 your final once again. Thank you so much for listening on Pittsburgh Soccer Now. It's been enjoyable. And a huge hand for the win of the season for Keystone Oaks. We'll see if that propels them. And as for South Park, we'll see how they rebound. They'll get a chance right away on Wednesday against Elizabeth Forward. Keystone Oaks will be at Steel Valley, meanwhile, to wrap up its section schedule also on Wednesday. That's it for me from Dormont Memorial Stadium in Dormont, PA. This has been Matt Gajtka saying good night, God bless, and we'll talk to you next time. In fact, our next featured match coming up on Wednesday at Deer Lakes. More details on PittsburghSoccerNow.com.